and I'm on a journey to pay off over $72,700 worth of credit card debt.
I didn't realize I had $18,457 in credit card debt.
$80,829 in credit card debt.
And our credit card debt is $66,345.07.
Put them credit cards down, my boy. My sister. This next clip is about a young lady, 22 years old. Let's see how much debt she got.
I'm 22 and I have over $10,000 in credit card debt, and I'm gonna explain how I got here. So at 19, I did real estate bookkeeping and managed an Airbnb, and I was able to save up like $20,000, which was really good at the time. And now I don't have any savings. Well, I have a little bit, not enough. And I have 3 credit cards that equal $10,000 in debt. So the first card that I have is a Freedom credit card, Chase credit card. I got that when I was 18 and financially responsible. I was really good with it. I never overspent on it, and I paid it off every month. And then all of a sudden I had a balance of $4,773. I mean, it's not all of a sudden. I unfortunately had to pay 2 semesters of college with that, which was like $3,000. And then the rest was my car getting towed from my apartment building. Honestly, I don't know what the rest is. My second card is my Sapphire Chase credit card, which is a great travel credit card if you're responsible, but I wasn't, and I managed to rack up $4,010.26 on that card. I don't really know all the breakdown of that. I think that was just being really stupid, and also like just things having to be paid for, like my car registration that I wasn't paying attention to. The third card I have is the Amazon Prime credit card, and that was by far the dumbest card that I got. When I moved, I obviously didn't have any furniture, so I got that credit card because it did that like 0 APR for all that stuff, and I fully furnished this apartment with that card. Obviously that was very dumb, and I managed to add other stuff to that because it was not $2,064.19 to furnish this apartment. It was other stupid spending. So yeah, in total that is $10,143.14. So I'm starting a journey of paying off those credit cards. I did all the math, and it looks like it's going to take me like a year to pay it off. So let's start that.
Yup. Debt come in all ages. This guy's a little older. Let's hear his story.
I am 31 years old and I have financially ruined my life. I have a decent job. I make around $70,000 a year, but I have built up $36,000 in debt, mostly high interest credit cards with 24 to 27% APR, and the interest alone is destroying me. I also have a newer leased truck that I'm massively over mileage on, so that's another bill that's hanging over my head. From the outside, my life probably looks stable, but financially, I feel completely trapped and mentally exhausted. The worst part about everything is that nobody in my life even knows what I am dealing with. If you were in my shoes, what would your first move be? Okay, step number 1, you need to increase how much money you make. So $70,000, if that's what you make full time, you need to pick up at least 1 extra shift a week, maybe do DoorDash, whatever it is on your off days. You need to be working every single day so you could bring in an extra, who knows, maybe $30,000. So we take your income to $100,000. Step number 2, we need to kill your spending habits. The only thing that you need to be spending money on is absolute necessities: rent and food. That is it. Those are your necessities. That's what you pay for. But there are no subscriptions. You're not eating out ever. You are not paying for PlayStation. You're not paying for Xbox, Netflix. You're not paying for anything other than what keeps you alive and a shelter. Number 3, you call the leasing agency wherever you're leasing your car, and you find out how much it costs to buy out your car. So just say the buyout on your car is like $30,000, and then your car is like the market value is like $33,000. That's $2,000 in the middle. You pay that off. You pay that off, and you sell the car. You completely get rid of the car, and either you walk wherever you need to go, or you get a very, very, very cheap car. I know we're spending money right now, but that is the first thing you do, is you get rid of that very expensive car payment, that high insurance, whatever it is, and you get a very, very cheap car. If you can bike to work, you bike to work. So now we cut our expenses, we increase how much money we're making, and now we need to attack the credit cards. When I say attack the credit cards, I mean every extra penny that comes in from you picking up shifts and door dashing, whatever you're doing on the side, you need to be putting it directly towards the credit cards, and you need to never use those credit cards ever. You don't go on vacations, you don't eat out, you don't do anything ever until they are paid off. $36,000 is not a lot of money. You can easily pay that off. But what do I know?
I have over $40,000 of credit card debt, and I want to talk about it for the first time. I know that this comes with a bunch of judgment. Like, people judge other people's finances all the time, and that's fine. I quit my job like 3 years ago. I know you're immediately gonna be like, well, why'd you quit your job? There's so many reasons why I quit my job, but one of them was to be a stay-at-home mom. Real big tipping point that like really pushed me over the edge was we were in a very, very severe mold issue last year and had to replace our entire life. I cannot tell you how expensive that is. About a year ago, I got to a point where I was like, this interest is so bad. We're never gonna get out of this. The interest really at the end of the day was what killed me. Like, it just kept growing, and then I could only make minimum payments, and then it got to a point where it's like, I don't even know if I can make the minimum payment. When the payments became too much, I started researching like what our options were. After a lot of research, I found this one company that's nonprofit and they don't ruin your credit. I enrolled in their program and they close all of your accounts, and they make a deal with the credit card companies to lower your interest rate. You're allowed to keep one card open. I have a card that's like a care vet emergency for my dog. If anything ever happens, I at least have some sort of line of credit for my dog. We do have pet insurance also on her, so if anything happens, we get reimbursed for most of the stuff. So it was just a no-brainer to keep that one open. And my interest rates range from like 0 to, I think the highest one I have might be 4 or 6% now. So every month this company takes money from me, and then they go and disperse it to these credit cards. And if I'm being honest, finding this company was a blessing. So they do not ruin my credit. They didn't like stop paying on them and then settle them. Like, I'm paying back every penny that I have on these cards. I'm just doing it at a lower interest rate, so it makes it feasible, because when the interest rate was like 27, 28, 29%, I was never going to pay those off. So now I'm a stay-at-home mom. I do not have an actual job, but what I have been doing is I do social media, so I have affiliate marketing, and I have a lot of different income streams that way. I do a lot of UGC videos for companies, and then I supplement a lot with delivery, so DoorDash, Spark, Driving, and Shipped. Every month my goal is literally just to pay this payment. So I had to come up with $878 every single month for this payment. On top of that, I have a couple student loans that I pay too, which total $210. So as a stay-at-home mom, I have to spend $1,000 a month on debt. It makes me sick to my stomach. I got in this mess and I will get out of this mess. I feel so good every month when it's going down. At the same time, it stresses me out because I really want another baby soon. And I can't do that if I have this looming over me so much, because I have to be able to make my payment every single month. It's like one of those sayings that it's like you're only one emergency away from like disaster, and that's literally what happened. Like, we had the mold situation, and that just really was a disaster for us. In the past month, I have decided that I am going really hard on social media because I hate doing delivery. I hate being out. I hate missing time with my family. I hate the late nights. Like, I truly hate it so much. I hate the stress of not knowing how much I'm gonna make that night because I don't know how much the orders are. And I know somebody's gonna say go find a job. It just, that's not a route that works for our family. So what I've decided is I want to make this account more of a UGC, sharing my wins, sharing my losses and stuff that I do, and kind of take you along my journey to get my payment every month, because I feel like I'm hiding in my shadows doing this alone, and it's not a fun place to be. I like following other people who share about their journeys, finances, and wins and losses that they're going through. So I just thought that maybe I could relate to somebody else, because it is stressful when you're in this much debt. It's not talked about enough on how to get out of it. So we're gonna do it together. For the time being, I've decided I don't think I want to share like exact amounts and stuff like that. That's just not who I am. But I can share that my payment is $878 a month and $210 in student loans every month. If you've been here for a long time, I'm so happy you're still here, and I hope that you stay along. And if this is your first time meeting me, hi. I love you so much, and you're not alone.
Here I am, 28 years old, and I have $22,000 in credit card debt. That's really vulnerable to share. I have just under $22,000 in debt. I was 18, 19 years old. I had no idea how credit cards worked. I did not know the first thing about them, didn't even know what interest was. And I have been paying for my mistakes for a decade now. Just been piling and piling and piling up a shame about the debt that I have just been hiding from it for so long. But I am so done pretending that it doesn't exist and not doing anything about it. So for the next 12 months, I'm going to work really, really hard and pay off as much of my debt as I possibly can. And I've decided I'm going to bring TikTok along for the journey. I've seen so many people share their journeys and stories about becoming debt-free on TikTok, and those videos have always really inspired me and educated me. So maybe me being vulnerable and sharing my journey will also do the same thing for someone else. Someone that's maybe feeling exactly like I have been feeling for a decade. Stuck, ashamed, embarrassed, overwhelmed, and maybe that could help them. And I'm all about sharing vulnerably about your struggles in order to ensure that someone else doesn't feel alone. For context, I do have a really wonderful full-time salary job. That job does allow me to pay my monthly minimum payments on my cards, which is basically just allowing me to tread water and keep me from fully going under the water head first. I also really want to be realistic about my journey. My husband and I still value being able to enjoy our lives together. We want to occasionally go out to dinner with our friends. We both love going to concerts. We want to be able to take trips and travel when we save and plan for it, obviously. We don't want to fully put our life on hold while trying to pay off this debt. We want to find a balance between paying off the debt and being responsible, but still making memories and enjoying our life. Because of that, I've decided, instead of completely cutting expenses, that I wanted to focus on increasing my income. So I got a part-time job at a local movie theater. I'll be working a few shifts a week, and every single penny that is deposited in my bank account from this job is going directly into paying towards my debt, on top of my monthly minimum payments that I'm already making. It's going to be small payments, little at a time, not going to happen overnight. I know that. Wish I could snap my fingers and all of my mistakes be erased, but I am hopeful. So here I am. I'm 28 years old with $22,000 in credit card debt, and I am heading to my first shift at my new second part-time job at my local movie theater, hoping that I can change my future one small payment at a time. I don't know. Come along for the ride. We'll see how it goes.
Well, at least she's hopeful. This next lady, she's dedicated too. Let's hear her story.
I quit my 9-to-5 1 year ago, and I'm still paying for it. Let me explain. So last July, I quit my 9-to-5, and if you want to know that story, I'm sure it's somewhere on my page, me explaining everything about it. But I didn't have income for like 3 or 4 months after that. And although looking back, I probably would have done some things differently, of course, I didn't. So what I mean by I'm still paying for it is during those 3 to 4 months, I was using credit cards, things of that nature to help me pay for my bills. And I feel like it took me till about right now to feel solidified in my income and just feel comfortable and like I can afford my life. So now that I'm at this point, I really want to pay off my credit card and just the different debts and things that I owe before I get married. That is my goal. I'm going to take you guys along with me to try to come up with different ways to make money, to save money, all the things so I can pay off all my debt. So my debt is in my credit card. Dre and I have a credit card as well that we opened up together, as well as our honeymoon. We are paying for that, so I want to make sure we have all that paid off as well. So there's 3 different loans or like credit card things that I want to pay off before we get married in August, okay? So I'm going to take you guys along with me to try to figure that out and to get that done because I'm so determined to pay it all off and just start fresh when we get married, okay? My first order of business that I'm going to do to make some extra money that's going straight to the credit card is I'm going through all my clothes and going to be selling them on Depop. I'm going to do it right now. I'm literally going upstairs and like ready to grind. So make sure you guys go check out my Depop and shop it if you want, or send it to your friends that are looking for some summer clothes or something, whatever you're feeling. That's my first line of defense. My first order of business is going to be selling some clothes. Dre and I also have different ways that we're going to be saving money. So of course I'll show you guys those as well, like how we're switching little things up to save here and there. Really determined. I hate how much money and debt stresses me out. It's really annoying and I tend to avoid it. But instead I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take accountability. I'm going to post about it so I can hold myself accountable and just get it done. Like debt is such a normal part of life and I just want to normalize, like, yeah, quitting your 9-to-5 sounds like amazing and like a dream, but everything is glamorized. Nothing is what it seems. Like there's pros and cons to everything in life. So I just want to be transparent with you guys that yes, I'm so happy I quit my 9-to-5 and it was a great decision that I don't regret. There are some things I wish I did differently and I wasn't making money. So I literally had to use credit cards to pay my bills and stuff. So because of that, I'm trying to pay them off. You guys are going to come with me. okay? I don't know what to call this series, but let me know if you guys have any ideas. And if you have any ideas how to make money, save money, whatever, if you have something that you do all the time that is like a quick little tip, comment down below, okay? We're gonna do this together. We got this. Let's be debt free in 2026.
I got my first credit card at 18 years old, and I have been racking up credit card debt ever since. I'll be 32 next week. I have so much credit card debt that I am scared to even tell you the amount out loud. I have a goal to get all of this paid off in the next 3 years by my 35th birthday. So let's start breaking it down so that you can see what I'm working with. Spread across 8 credit cards right now. So let's start with card number 1, which is my lowest balance. That balance is going to be paid off in June, so I'm not too worried about it, but it's $572. After that is when things start to get a whole lot more fun, for lack of better words for it. Card number 2 has a balance of $4,741. Card number 3, $5,530. Card number 4, $6,911. Card number 5, $7,651. Card number 6, $11,290. Card number 7, $18,189. And card number 8, $24,406. That's what I'm working with. That's my starting point as of June 1st, 2026. And the total amount of credit card debt that I have is $79,292. I am going to pay off every last penny of this without filing bankruptcy and without doing a debt consolidation settlement by my 35th birthday. Mark my words. Make sure that you're following along to watch the whole thing because we've got years of content coming your way.
When they say listen to your parents, right? And since I say about 2023, since 2023, I should have listened to my mom. From 2023 all the way up till now, I'm really understanding why my mom said, listen, okay? So back 2023, I'll say about 2022, 23, had me a credit card. I was paying it off, whatever. So, I went to the bank. They were like, yeah, you want to increase. At the time, I was with the credit union. And, my mom, she worked for them. So, they was like, yeah, we could boost your credit card up to $8,000. So, my mom, Maya, I don't think you should do that. I think maybe you could go up another $1,000. I was like, Mom, I'm grown. I can do this. Long story short, I boosted that thing up to $8,000. After that, my life came trickling down. Okay? My life came trickling down. When I say, I was living my best life. And I was working 2 jobs. I ain't have no kids. I was paying that motherfucker off. It was nothing. I met a dude. Got pregnant. Did everything by myself. That credit card start racking up. Interest start racking up. Delinquent. I'm like, oh my fucking God. At this point, I even tried to get a second job again to pay it off. Long story short, it took me 2 years. I paid that credit card off $8,000 back in 2024. Yeah, because my son wasn't even 1 at the time. I paid that credit card off. You couldn't tell me to get. I got another credit card, Capital, $2,000. And the thing is, my shit was at $500. They increased it by themselves without my knowledge or anything. They just talking about approved. You've been authorized for this amount. We're upping it. I called them. I said I didn't ask y'all to up my credit. I don't do that. Okay, don't do that. Because my mind is telling me one thing, but physically, So, I've been actually doing okay. That's my only credit card. Other than that, I have no type of debt, but my car payment, and I actually pay my car off more. Than what the car payments is, I put extra on the principal. I'm telling you, I do not want to be 30, 40, 50. That 8,000 humbled the fuck out of me. I'm trying to tell you that 8,000 humbled me so well. You would never. So this just goes, listen to your mother, because my mom told me don't do it. She already told me. When I became a mom, girl, I can see how this is gonna go for you. Don't do it. I did it anyways. Just certain things. And me, if anybody know me, Jemiah's gonna do whatever the fuck she wants. When I get buried, that's what my grave better say. Jemiah wanted to do whatever she want. I did. And I'm still like that, but I'm more cautious now because I do have a child. And then another thing is, for me to be at the age of almost 25 and I'm not even in debt seriously. And when I say seriously, I have my car, okay? My car is like $30,000 right now. But I mean, that's going to get paid. That's nothing. Everybody has a car payment at this point. So other than that, like school debt, all of that, I don't have no issues. Actually, if you really want to be honest, I just paid that damn credit card. Don't plan on touching it. So yeah, listen to your mother and don't go into debt. Okay?
Comments. Time to read the comments. Read the comments. Read comments. I like to read. Listen to the Dave Ramsey podcast. It is 22 years old, and it's 22 year olds worth of $100K worth of credit card debt. How? Goodness gracious. Okay, yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I don't know, man. Make a video about how you paid it down, please. Whew. Yeah, you got to put your heart and blood and soul into paying that down. Just don't spend what you don't have. That's true. I would look at if you have that much credit like limits available, I wouldn't use that for like unless it's for an emergency, man. Because if you know you ain't got 100K, if you got different credit cards, you know you got up to 100K, and you ain't got 100K, or you don't use it for an emergency. Like, let's say your car break down or something. You know what I'm saying? Use it for stuff like that. It's good to have. And or unless you gonna know what you're doing and you finna like flip it and you got a good plan and you know how to make it, get some assets with it, and that's cool. But don't be. That's why my mama won't let me get mine. Your mama trying to save you, and she said, if so, keep it at 2,000 or less. Facts. If you make 3,000 a month, you need to probably keep it somewhere close to that. Maybe, like I said, maybe a little bit high. No. Get what you get, but don't spend it. That's hard. That's why, because that's hard. You got that thing in your pocket. You start seeing stuff you want. You're like, hey, I could get that. You could, but should you? No. Hell no. My $500 my 500 did something to me. Oh, and ain't use that feature at all. I don't know what she talking about. She got 0 likes. I don't know what she talking about. 8 bands is a lot too. If I got 8K though, I'm using it for business. LOL. See, that's smart. That's smart. If you're going to get that, you need to use that for something. You're going to make it back in. You need to invest in something. You know, don't be getting the credit cards and just buying consumer stuff. Don't be to buy no shoes, no clothes, don't buy no bags, don't buy no cups, Stanley Cup. None of that, man. Again, it's been Josh from Talk to Me Boy, and I just talked to you, boy.